Hey there again, everybody. My name is Nathan. I'm one of the pastors here at Christ Church United Methodist. I use the pronouns he, him, and his, and it's great to have you here with us for our little delayed multi-ethnic readings together. I'm hopeful that you can hear me now. I'm going to look over here on my other screen to see if we have some audio today. And if so, we're going to keep on reading. If not, unfortunately, I'll have to figure out what's going on with my microphone and my computer setup this morning. I apologize for that. So let's see. All right. So you heard my echo. So you can hear me now. I'm not sure what happened with our last settings, but I'm glad that you're here and we're here now. And today we're continuing with our multi-ethnic readings where we take a moment on Tuesdays around noon, hopefully, usually at noon. Sometimes if our equipment doesn't work, it's a little after and on Thursdays at noon. Pastor Peyton and I are spending some time, and we are as a community here at Christ Church hearing from different pieces of history or different pieces of culture. It might be a poem or music eventually, or maybe even some artwork or some history. Today, I'll be continuing in the book that I've been reading on Tuesday afternoons called Little Legends, Exceptional Men in Black History. Little Legends, Exceptional Men in Black History. It's by Vashti Harrison. Before I jump into our conversation today, just want to welcome again everyone that's here. As I say, oftentimes when I'm here on YouTube, feel free, if you haven't taken the opportunity to do so, to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way, when we go live, or if we're late and we go live late, you'll get a notification like today to let us know that you're here with us, or to let you know, rather, that we're here, that we're going live, or that we've posted new content. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, we'd love for you to do so. And also, if you would hit that thumbs up button, if you see that on your screen, it might be underneath the video right here that you're watching me on. That will let YouTube know that they should recommend our video on, and that there's something great that's happening and interesting. And then more folks will be able to come and be a part of this great community where we are indeed a diverse and inclusive community, doing our best to experience and reflect the love and the hope and the joy of Jesus Christ to one another and to our larger community. Today, we're going to be hearing a little bit about U.S. Marshal Bass Reeves, Deputy U.S. Marshal Bass Reeves. He was born in 1838 and died in 1910. As I was doing a little bit of research for this afternoon, quickly, if you would go to YouTube and look up his name, there are trailers right now for a new show on Paramount Plus. It's coming out on November 5th. That's called Lawman, I believe. Lawman Bass Reeves. Now, I don't know anything else about the show except what the trailer is. I don't know what age it's appropriate for, but if you find today interesting, you might want to check that out. I think it comes out on November 5th on that streaming platform. So, Bass Reeves, and a little bit of a tease. If you stay for the end of the story on Bass Reeves, you might learn something around pop culture and some history, or some Americana, if you will, that you didn't know. I certainly did. So here is Bass Reeves, U.S. Marshal, Deputy U.S. Marshal. Bass was born enslaved in Arkansas. As a boy, he was made a personal servant to Colonel George Reeves, who allowed Bass to learn to use a shotgun. Bass was so skilled that he even excelled in turkey shooting competitions. When people saw how good he was, they barred him from competing. Bass understood that as an enslaved person, there was no winning for him. George took Bass with him to fight for the Confederacy in the Civil War. But Bass was able to escape to Indian Territory, which is present day Oklahoma. He hid until the end of the war, learning the languages and the customs of the Seminole, Cherokee, and Creek peoples. It really was the Wild West, a lawless land for miles around. Since tribal courts had no jurisdiction over U.S. citizens, many criminals crossed into Indian Territory to hide out. It was the job of the U.S. Marshals to go in and to capture the bad guys. Well, in 1875, when the head of the Marshals needed to appoint his deputies, he thought of Bass, who knew the land, spoke the languages, and was an incredible shot. Bass was one of the first Black deputy U.S. Marshals. It was a dangerous job. In Bass's time, more than 100 marshals were killed in the line of duty. He was never shot, but had a few close calls, including one when the bad guys got his hat. There's that picture of that hat again. Got his hat. He brought in around 3,000 criminals. 3,000 criminals. Before long, people far and wide knew Bass's reputation. The tough as nails, sharp shooting, 6'2" black deputy. He could shoot with both hands, but Bass chose to shoot only when necessary. Instead, he liked to use disguises and tricks to outsmart the criminals to make an arrest. It wasn't just about bad guys for Bass. He loved animals and went out of his way to stand up against animal cruelty. All right, here's a little bit of a tidbit of information that I had never heard about before. Maybe it's news for you as well as we conclude. It's speculated that Bass was the inspiration for the Lone Ranger, the fictional masked hero of the Old West. There's no way of knowing for sure, but we do know that Bass was a real life good guy who fought for justice. So that is today's multi-ethnic reading on Bass Reeves. A little bit of glare there. There you go. Bass Reeves, Deputy U.S. Marshal. Pastor Peyton will be here on Thursday to share a little bit of history as we continue our multi-ethnic readings. In the meantime, we'd love to have you join us over on Facebook in the mornings at 7:30 Eastern Time, where we have our time of morning prayer and reflection. We've got our Parkway Free Community Dinner tomorrow evening at 5:30, or excuse me, at 4:30, followed by our multi-ethnic conversation small groups that are happening on Tuesday nights, Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, Thursday afternoons, and Sunday afternoons as well. You can read more about the multi-ethnic conversations, unity in our church worship series that we're in the middle of by visiting our website at christchurchfl.org/unity. Or if you want to check out what we're up to as a church and the larger church and in our community, simply visit our website at christchurchfl.org. If you have a moment, again, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel. If you have access there to the chat box as we're live, feel free to say hi in the chat box, or you can always add a comment in the comment section afterwards. In the meantime, thanks so much for joining us, everyone. I hope that you have a great rest of your Tuesday. Thanks for being a part of Christ Church United Methodist, where we are experiencing and reflecting the love, the hope, the joy of Jesus Christ to one another and to our larger community. Thanks for your patience today, everyone. So glad to have had you here with us. God bless you.